Hello and welcome, Inspired Podcast community. This is your new episode. My name is Caroline, and my today's guest is Ruth Dorsainville. I have the honor and the pleasure to have a conversation with her today about inspiration. And first of all, I would like you to introduce yourself to the audience, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ruth Dorsainville, as in Dorsainville. It's funny because I remember I was speaking to somebody before, and they were saying that, how do you say your name? So if you speak French, like I just find out that you speak French as well, it's Dor dans les seins de la ville. So if you really want to remember, it's Dorsainville. So that's the name.
Oh,
So a little bit about myself. So I like to use humor in life, right? So they usually say how you see life is how you live it, right? So I thought, why not just add humor to it? Because everything is just what it is. It's just whatever you make it, right? So that's why I decided to go into career. So I'm a career expert. I run a franchise, a recruiting franchise with over 200 offices worldwide. And I'm also into social media. So I help companies as well, not only hire the top talent, I help entrepreneur also strive as well through social media and that sort of thing. So that's a little bit about myself, but also, of course, I have amazing people. Daughter that I'm blessed with.
Oh, thank you so much for your introduction. Yes. Okay. Let me ask my first question is what inspires you?
What inspires me each and every single day is, some people would call it selfish, but I call it to make sure that I am going in the right path towards my full potential, right? In order for me to help other people, and I know that for some moms, they always say, my children come first. However, I believe that until you give to yourself first, you don't have much to give to others, right? And another thing as well is that kids learn by what they see, not by what you say, right? So what inspires me to get up each day and to ask myself, have I done the best that I could today? And I create small wins throughout the day. It could be something as small as waking up when I say I'm going to get up and not pressing the snooze button, right? Or working out, going to the treadmill for about half an hour each day. So what inspires me is that, whatever I say I'm going to do, I do it. So that inspires me to develop myself to be the best of my ability and then share that with other people. Now that I'm able to do it, I overcome obstacle because I'm just human like everybody else. Share those techniques with other people, including my family, so that we could all grow as human, sharing this beautiful experience here on Earth.
Wow, I love that so much because we often learn it in our education otherwise, like put the other persons first and then yourself. As you said, it seems selfish for some people, but when you know how it works, then of course you fill first your own cup and then you can give from that cup. So beautiful. Thank you so much. My next question is, who inspires you?
Who inspires me? I would say it's a little bit, well, first, my mom. My mom, for raising 5 kids on her own with the help of villages. So coming from my mother, immigrant, coming from Canada, coming from Haiti, with my dad, of course, and then they got a divorce. So instead of, playing the victim, or back then in the 80s, for her to get a divorce, that's not something that people in the church did. And a lot of people told her, how could you have, even though, he was not treating her right, she decided to go against what everybody told her, and she decided to get a divorce. She was staying at home, going to school. Now she had to get a job. So she had 5 kids, get a job, and going to school. So that was not easy. And don't get me wrong, we went through a lot of challenges, lots and lots and lots of challenges. But the fact that we were able to overcome it, I think that, is the strength. So I find the strength from my mother, because through the rough time, she always taught me to have faith. That was always the thing, have faith, have faith. So it's not until later on in life when I had to go through stuff and traveling around the world and not knowing where the hell I'm going to head up sometime. But I always had faith that God has my back. Right. Oh, and it always, or God or universe, whatever you want to call it, had my back. And I would say that learning faith is what got me through everything until today. So my mother would say, my mother, and after my mother, it's been many other books and mentors, and Tony Robbins was been a big person in my life, and many mentors that I continue to see, like the one that we have as well. We share Peggy McCall, Bob Proctor, Lowell and Jeremiah, Darren Hardy. Like I have many mentors, but the main one started with my mother.
Wow, that's an amazing answer. I think no one said this before about parents or their mother. Okay, thank you so much. And my next question is, how do you inspire other people?
I would say that I put myself out there in terms of being part of charities, right? Sitting on boards. I just recently decided to join, a few different boards now. And I find that even though I love helping others, I love I don't impose on others, right? So people have to want, that's one thing I need to learn actually, because I'm part of my DNA is to overhelp. It's like I have a smothering personality because I'm a Cancer and all that stuff. So I love to help to the point that people are not making their own mistakes, which is not great because you're not helping them. Right. So right now I'm still learning on how to do that. I'm like, how can I help? Because when people ask me for help, I will go above and beyond because it's either you go 1,000% or you don't, right? So right now, how I inspire is to put myself out there to communities, social media. If I have my services, people are aware of it, and then they come should they need it. And I'm learning that even a lot of people do coaching, and they start talking and talking and talking and talking over talking, giving them. It's like now I'm a coach that listens. I decide, and again, this is a process that takes place, but someone that listens and really help other people to help themselves. I don't want anybody to become dependent, right? It's very important, like as I say, like I teach somebody how to fish versus fishing for them, right? So that's my inspiration. Wherever they are in life, how can they take the next step and treat everybody individually for their uniqueness as they are.
Wow, thank you so much. I understand. It's about the listening part and helping people to find the answer in themselves, of course. Yeah, through the process. Thank you so much. Okay, now about your gifts and talents. What are your gifts and talents?
I would say from a personal and professional. So for personal, I would say that my gift is actually, it's funny. I was asking my family. We had dinner yesterday, and we decided to have a new plan for a family. What went right last year, what can we improve on this year, what we appreciate about each other, and what we want more of or less of. This year. So I heard it from my daughter and from my husband, and what they said about me was that I was generous, which is true. I love to give. That's what I'm saying. But to the point that sometimes I need to take a step back, right? An example, my daughter, when I first met her, every single day she would come back, there was a gift in her bed just waiting for her, right? And then when I saw that the gift sometimes was on the floor, I had to take a break and be like, okay, all right. So maybe I'm giving too much, that things are not being appreciated, right? So generous is one of my gift in personal and professional, recruitment, being able to see talent. I've been in the recruiting industry for over 20 years. So seeing talent, seeing the potential of people, helping them grow, right? So I'm a people person, right? So being able to understand people, meet them where they are, and help them grow to the next level using what they already have inside of them and helping them to to tap into that, because I know that's what helped me to get to where I was, well, to where I did what I did, which is, running a company, selling my company, being semi-retired at the age of 25, traveling around the world for 4 years. So I've been able to accomplish everything, but that has been by listening to my own voice that we all have, that we often ignore. Right. So that would be my skill, to help them tap into that voice that's within them.
Wow, I love that. I love also that you divide it into personal gifts and professional, which you use, and your talent is to discover talents. Or this is really amazing, Yeah, and the other thing with your generosity, giving gifts, this is a match. Your gift is giving gifts. Wow, I love that so much. Thank you for sharing. And my last question, it's already my last question, is what are your offers and services for the Inspired Podcast community, for the listeners?
Well, as it's my first interview with your Get Inspired. First of all, I want to say that you're doing an amazing job, Caroline. Your podcast is so needed. So many people need that special message. Sometimes you just need a 10 minutes, 20-minute message just to get you through the day, because it's not easy. Right. Some days, some people are lucky enough to have found the skills, and even those days they have the ups and downs. So to listen to a podcast that's for 20 minutes just to get them inspired, I think it's great, so that they could identify themselves with the people on the screen. I think you're doing an amazing job. And of course, any help that I could do, support, I'll be more than happy to do so. Which is why for the community here, I'm actually providing a 30 minutes free consultation. So you could go to here, ruthdorsainville.com/DNA legacy, and you'll see a strategy session. So if you need any help in your career, if you need any help in terms of growing your business, if you're a corporation, of course, looking for new talent, I'll be more than happy to provide with a 30-minute free consultation.
I love that very much. Thank you so much. And I have something to add. First of all, I graciously accept your compliment about the most needed podcast episodes about inspiration. And I also thought that the format of 15 minutes is the great thing. And I heard something interesting. This method when we improve 1% every day or so, there's a book. I think it's Atomic Habits. I'm not sure. The 1% method. And someone told me, and you can calculate this as well, if you divide your day, the 24 hours, if you calculate the 1%, then you land at 15 minutes, 14 minutes and 25 seconds or so, by the way. But 15 minutes is 1% of your daytime. And if you use this to get inspired and to stay inspired in that frequency, then it's a beautiful day. I think this was the idea behind the podcast. Thank you so much. 20 minutes, how do you call it? Strategy call? Yes, strategy call to find your strategy about career. The other word was business, to help you grow your business. Thank you so much. I will put your website in the show notes. And this was our podcast episode. I leave the last word to you, please. If you have a message to share, this is the moment.
I would say, first of all, that again, Getting Inspired is a great name for the podcast. And I hope that this episode, those questions, helped you to become inspired. And I'm gonna close it with to listen to your inner voice. So whatever dream that you have, listen to that voice, and go for it. That's it. Just go for it. If you don't know how, that's fine. The how will be shown to you. Just go for it. Listen to that voice that knows, because you already know what to do. You just don't know how, but you already know what you want to do. Just listen to that voice and play full out. And we'll see you on the other side.
Yes, will do. Thank you so much, and see you in the next episode.